4 years ago, I experienced a night that changed my life forever. Every time I go to bed, I check the door not once, but 2 or even 3 times. That night taught me one simple thing. What you don't see can be far scarier than what you do see. It happened when I was 16. My parents went away for the night, and my brother and I were left alone. We invited my friend over for a sleepover. That evening felt completely normal. We were in my room watching YouTube and chatting about random stuff. My brother hung out with us for a while, but he went to bed early because he had to wake up early the next morning. My friend started dozing off around 1 a.m. He fell asleep quickly, but I couldn't sleep as usual. I've always enjoyed staying up late, watching videos or reading books, so I stayed up alone, in complete silence. Then the silence was broken. First, I heard some noise outside. It was a dull, metallic sound. I thought it was the neighbor's cats. We had a shed covered with metal sheets, and cats often climbed onto it at night. The sound was familiar, so I didn't think much of it. But a few minutes later, something flashed past the window. It happened so fast that I thought, did I imagine it? But 2 strange events in one night. That was too much. I got up from my chair and slowly walked to the front door. When I touched the handle, my heart stopped. Neither of the 2 locks was secured. Had someone unlocked them? Or had we simply forgotten to lock them? I locked both locks, turned on the yard light, and peeked through the peephole. And then, my heart nearly jumped out of my chest. There was a face, a human face. It was so close to the peephole that I could see every detail. Pale skin, dark circles under the eyes, an empty stare. This person showed no emotion, none at all. I jumped back from the door and almost screamed, "Fuck!" That's what came out of my mouth. I looked through the peephole again and saw that he was still there. And then he spoke. "Please let me in. I need help," he said. His voice was full of fear, desperation. It seemed like his life depended on it. But his face, it remained completely emotionless. Only his lips moved. It was terrifying. I just stood there and stared at him. With every second, he begged louder, more hysterically. And then I heard footsteps behind me. I turned around and saw my brother. He asked, "What are you doing?" I answered, "There's someone out there, behind the door." We looked through the peephole again, but no one was there. What the hell? I told my brother about the man I saw and how he begged to be let in. My brother believed me. He said he thought he saw someone by the window earlier but assumed it was his imagination. We turned off the lights in the house and started watching the yard through the windows. But there was no one out there. We stood in silence, nervously staring into the darkness. And then a wild scream came from my room. We ran into the room, and there he was. Outside the window, the same man. His face had changed. Now it was predatory, aggressive. His eyes were fixed on me, even though the yard was lit and the house was dark. He couldn't possibly see us, but he was looking straight at me, and then he smiled. A wide, sinister smile. In his hand, a large knife gleamed. He slowly raised it to the window and began tapping the tip against the glass. Tap, tap, tap. My brother was already on the phone with the dispatcher calling the police. We ran to another room because none of us wanted to stay where that psycho was standing outside the window. The police arrived about 10 minutes later, but there was no one in the yard. That man had vanished, as if he had dissolved into thin air. The police made a composite sketch, distributed flyers around the city, but they never found him. I'm grateful to my father for installing bars on all the windows and to my intuition. If I hadn't checked the door, if the windows hadn't been protected, who knows what could have happened. Now I often think, what did he want? Why was he so insistently asking to be let in? And why was his face so empty? Was he a psycho, a maniac, or something even more dangerous? But the scariest part is, I still don't know where he is now. Do you check your door before going to bed? Maybe you should start.